Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope all doing really well. We're back again with another trade, free agency update, whatever you want to call it. And boy oh boy have we kicked off with a bang. 6 deals straight off the bat. Always exciting. We're going to take you through what they've got, what they've lost, how it may look, how it affects the list. So let's get into it. And the first one is the Cumming, Isaac Cumming, the money shot himself. Can be that rebounding midfielder, can play up on the wing. Very, very solid type of operator, I feel. And it's a good deal. It's a good deal. The compensation pick at the moment hasn't been announced for what GWS get. Remember, this is one of them because the contract value is so high that he will bend the rules a little bit. So we're expecting it to come in, you know, at the end of that second round. Been playing as a winger and being the deputy to old Lockie Ash at the minute, who's got that out there. 26 years old, 81 games played. Can play, like we say, at halfback. Has played up on the wing as well. Very good ball user. 6 games for 2024. Decent tackle numbers, two-way running. Under 2 clearances. They are getting a very established football at Adelaide, and something that this really builds them out a little bit. You can see here the POM value of this guy is around that late second, 35. The reason we've come up with that is that's the algorithm we talked about. We will do a video on that, but that's the length of his contract, his age, how much games he's got left, his longevity. So it is saying that GWS, if they get pick 41, are really losing pick 47 in points, 113, based on the new system. Our algorithm works because we really do like the new system of points. So, pretty even deal all round. You win some, you lose some. Let's take a look here as we do that at what that does to the list. So if we look at Adelaide's list here, they've done a whole load of delisting. They've got 35 list spots on the senior. They've got to fill 1. They can fill up to 3 on the rookie. 1 rookie B. In real life, they've got 5 picks at the minute. 4, 27, 45, 63. They're going to lose a pick here for that. But you look at this list here, it makes it quite sexy reading, doesn't it? They've got Isaac Cumming in there. That looks like a really solid list, as it were. We go over to GWS. You can see here, GWS, they've got 34 on the senior list, 3 and 1. They've got James Peatling to go as well, so that'll bring that down to 33. But they've got real healthy little pick here, if you look. We haven't even talked about Perryman and that, but the draft is looking fairly content. So we'll get into the next guy, and that is Tom Campbell, the ruckman from Melbourne. He goes across and joins the D's. St Kilda lose out on him. We're valuing him at about a 56, which is 36 points. It's nothing. This is just one of the fairer deals. You win some, you lose some. Who is Tom Campbell, though? Tom Campbell, as we know, 32-year-old ruckman. He's been there for what feels like ever. An able backup. It gives them some little bit of insurance should anything happen. 58 games, 212 was his debut. 32 years old, 201 centimetres. It's not a great... We're not going to get excited and sing and dance about this and go full, you know, Dame Judi Dench on this one and get really excited about it. Sorry, I meant Julia Andrews and start singing, "The Hills Are Alive." But this is a solid recruitment. It's a great backup. It means you've got a little bit of safety. Brings standards in as well. He's been there a while, so your young bucks and stuff, they're going to really learn from him. Let's see what that does to the old list. And if we look at Melbourne now, they've got 4 list spots to fill as a minimum. They have got to get rid of one of their rookies or upgrade them, which we expect them to do. You'd imagine Jorge is gone based on that. If we look at St Kilda, what does that do to their old rank? It doesn't do too much, really. You look here, they've got 32. They've got a few people that they've got to get rid of the list as well. But 32, they've got 5 list spots at the moment. 7, 8, 26 and 46. they're in a real good position here. They won't be so bothered about Tom Campbell. They've got a load of coverage for him. So that one makes sense. Up next then, we're going straight to and staying with St Kilda. And this is a real good one here. We're valuing him at pick 14 around there in an open market. Remember, this is based on if they were in contract, and we did have a proper system where if a player is tied to your club, you would have to trade. So they're getting about 32 extra. So that would be, the way I want you to think about this is what we're suggesting is they're effectively getting pick 32 and 8 in this. It's like that steak knives deal. They're 32 ahead. Real good signing for Hawthorn. This is an absolute terrific signing. They're not paying anything, Hawthorn. The AFL are covering that debt. That is really solid. He's an incredible player as well, is Josh Battle. This is absolutely amazing. We talked about Hawthorn last year at length about just waiting and biding your time for key forwards. And suddenly, like you're in London hailing a black cab, 5 come at once after you piss wet through in the cold winter rain. 123 games, 26 years old, 193. The guy ranks pretty much on the verge of elite for every metric in a key defender. Real solid, good intercept. It really allows them to have some real solid thoughts for James Sicily. Want you to keep an eye out of what James Sicily does, because I feel like this allows him to be a little bit more flexible. And let's have a look at what that does to St Kilda's list. Again, we've talked about how many list spots they've got, but pick 8 is there. They are in prime position now to really do some damage in this draft. I suspect they hit this draft really hard. Really hard. So I'm really looking forward to this. They've got a few list spots to fill, but they've got some 2 prime picks. Talk about them trading down. I don't really see the need. Sauce likes to double up when he drafts, so it makes sense for me that they're in a real killer position. And Hawthorn suddenly now have got better, which is a real frightening prospect. The other one was Elliot Himmelberg. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You don't get excited about this. We value him at pick 42, which is roughly 202 points on the new system. They got him for free. Adelaide don't get compensation as well. He goes to Gold Coast. Is he an exciting signing? No, he's not. Why is he so valuable, though, you may ask? Pom, why have you got a value on him and he's gone for free? Just because he's a key position player and they're as rare as rocking horse poo to find. So that is it. But 26 years old in the prime of his career, 50 games. He's played down back as well, so he's got that little bit of excitement factor that you can slot him anywhere. 9 games in 2024. Were them 9 games brilliant, but it was a goal a game. 50 career, as we said. I don't mind this because I feel like he's got a lot to give, and I get a little bit of Elijah Hollands about this guy, that he probably wasn't utilised. He was behind a very good key forward team up at Adelaide. Gold Coast, they bring him in. He's a massive upgrade on Levi Casbolt. He's probably an upgrade on Sam Day as well, in my humble opinion. I don't mind this. This is a good bit of business. And he wasn't playing at Adelaide, so Adelaide don't really care. It allows them to bring in some of the players they've done. And their off-season has been hunky-dory thus far. I've got to say, I'm really excited about Adelaide. But said that last year, Crows fans, so take my word with a grain of salt. But you can see here, look, they've got 3 list spots to fill on the senior list. They've done a heap of D listing, 4, 27, 45, 63. Neil Bullen's come in, which is really exciting. I feel that's something that they definitely need. It's not a huge loss, in my opinion. If we go over to the Suns, the team that doesn't value draft picks, they've got a heap of picks at the moment, 6, 13, 20, 22, 28. These to match Lombardo makes it totally fine. These are probably going to be used in some kind of horrendous deal that makes you feel really sick. But they've got a few list spots to fill, which is going to be really interesting. They've got 36, 2 and 1. As we can see, you know, they brought in Elliot Himmelberg. That makes everything all A-OK. I like their list, though. I feel like they're going to be really active. If Lukosius leaves, they bring in Dan Rioli and John Noble and bring in someone else, which I do think they're going to be active. Everything's gravy. Everything's coming up Millhouse for them. Up next, Harry Perryman, and I really like this one. I feel like they've really targeted here, and okay, they've overpaid. They have probably overpaid in the terms of what his anticipated salary is, but you've got to take it into consideration. Collingwood have 0 picks. So they've got to do something. And they don't want to be wasting any pick they get, because we all know Noble is somehow going to be pick 13. Like, let's just resign ourselves to the fact that that's happening. Everyone needs to come. I'm not happy with it. You're not happy with it. That is going to happen, though. It's going to be involved in some way, shape or form. So it makes sense that Collingwood don't pay that for a half-back flanker that can slot on the wing. This is a really good signing because they've always lacked that since Nick Dacos has gone. He's AFL ready. He's reliable. He's hard-working. He's got some good vision as well, and he uses the pill pretty well. GWS are winning here. They got pick 16 for him. That's plus 435. So that's like having 16 and 31 when his value is 29 on my system. So this is a good little bit of business because of the way that Collingwood played. So GWS are going to be really happy. It means that they can do something exciting. Good bit of business all around. Sometimes you've got to speculate to accumulate, as you know, my old business studies teacher told me. GWS, we've talked about them at length. They've got some really nice picks now. 15, 16, 36, 41. They can do a bit of damage. Only linked with Jay Stringer, but I do feel like these guys are going to be one of the teams with 6 list spots that may do some damage in bid matches. Particularly look at Brisbane and pick 17 here. I could see them having a shy for that, you know, I really could do. So that's going to be a really interesting development. And if we look at the Magpies, look, they've got 35 list spot, 35 on the senior list now, 7 on the rookie A, a heap of D-listings to do, 35, 51, 54. We know there's going to be 13 there. Only 1 list spot at the moment, but that's going to be all dependent, I think, on what happens with these guys, and that will affect these guys here. It's going to be really interesting here because there's some real work to do. Ollie Lord, that rumour won't go away. That's one that I'm really looking at. And I feel like they may make a play for... They may make a play quite big to try and get in with futures into this draft. Watch this space on that, but real good bit of business. That's one of them trades that even though maybe it's overvalued on my system, I really do like it as a bit of business for the others. And we finish with my Blues. Blue Army. Nick Haynes coming in. I don't mind this. I know people are like, oh, Nick Haynes, what are you going to do with an old player? Standard setter. And you look here, basically he's been in the upper echelon. You've only got to look at the goodbye post he did at GWS. They really rate him. 192, 211 games, 32 years old. Suddenly he's a massive upgrade on that. Played an average of 20 games in his career since debuting in 2012. And the only time it's been a blip was last year, but he still did play 19 games across VFL and AFL. So real robust player, but a standard setter for mine. Standard setter and someone that is borderline best 22. And if the juniors go above him, you've got a guy that has played All-Australian multiple times. Big fan of Nick Haynes. Am I running home to the cows come home and going, oh my God, baby, we've done it, break out the red panties? No, I'm not, but this is a standard setter, and at the moment, Carlton's backline has great players like Jacob Wheeler who can pass on the dark arts, per se, but I don't want him pissing about training these kids. I want him focusing on his game. Nick Haynes comes in, he props the standard up. It really helps players like Billy Wilson in the VFL, because that key position player and players that are playing that third tall, which Nick Haynes will do, have been absolutely bog standard below average. So it means he gets some more AFL experience in the VFL, Billy Wilson and players like that, to really hone their craft against good players. And that's going to be a real good little development thing. So for a year, which is what Carlton have signed him, good bit of business for GWS. Everyone's cushy, as they say. Let's have a wee look-see at the old Carlton Football Club situation at the minute. So they go up to 35 now. And obviously we've got Matt Duffy here, so Carlton have got 2 list spots to play around with at the minute. We do expect some more delists and some more exits at the minute. It's going to be really fascinating here of some hardcore links, because we expect always to go. There's rumours that Kennedy's staying now. Young, we haven't heard anything. So there's going to be a little bit of shifting around, no doubt. But Carlton are looking to get back in there. Pick 11 becomes pick 12. They'll get a good player there, and hopefully they'll get into the teens, late teens, to have another pick. I'm excited about this position. GWS, we've talked about them. We'll have one more look. It's all coming up Millhouse for them. They've got a really good solid list. Let's look at this, how this affects your draft order. It knocks everyone else down, but St Kilda here going to do some damage here. GWS going to do some damage here. I'm still against these compensation picks being double ups, to be honest, because it really makes drafting easy, but it is what it is. I'm not the AFL CEO. And then if we go down to here to Isaac Cumming, he's going to be roughly about 41. he's going to be around here. Probably they'll give him 37 and Geelong will be a bit miffed, but it's going to be somewhere around here. So it doesn't really affect the draft order too much. As for calibre of players here, it doesn't really affect you either, so it's actually been one of them compensation picks. This one definitely does, the Battle one, but Battle is a good player. I'm not going to kick off about that. We know that the AFL system at the moment isn't the greatest and fairest, but they are your guys and girls who have left their teams at the minute. Let me know in the comments, guys and girls, what you think for your team. I'm really happy with that algorithm as well. Let me know what you feed that, if that's a real good visual for you. We aim to please here. Hope you're all right. Make sure you check out the Dylan Alexander. That goes up at 3, so that's going to be a really good, fun draft. Can't wait to do that more with more content creators. If you've got anyone in mind, drop that in the comment. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Help us hit the Pommer rhythm. See if we can hit 6K at the end of this video. Much love to you all. Peace, love, and light. Pommy out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad.